Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah wa ba'd. I am very pleased and thankful for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first and foremost, for allowing me to be here today with a community that I cherish and I love and I respect a lot, the community of Michigan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this community and bless you all and your family, and also reward those who travel from outside of state to join us today in our Ilm Fest, which is a tradition that AlMaghrib celebrate knowledge. We try to keep it yearly. We would love to be every year in every community that we go to, but we make this event travel across the country or countries if you wish. It's always good to be back to Michigan. Today I was supposed to do a workshop, and I was envisioning the workshop to be a little bit in a different setup, and more of like a focus group. But I still would like a participation from the crowd. So please, you will find 3 volunteers with 3 microphones. If I ask you, if someone would ask some questions, and if you have a comment or respond to the request I made, I just have a request to make it short, because this clock is faster than usual clocks in front of me. It runs much faster. I think they do like 50 seconds a minute or something. So make it short so we can cover some of the points that we would like to cover today. And this topic is extremely important, talking about the fiqh of unity. Many times when we talk about dealing with each other, we focus on the fiqh of disagreement. Like, how do we disagree with each other? How I treat you when you disagree with me. But very rare when we speak about, okay, what if we don't agree with each other? What if we agree with each other? There is no disagreement. But still there is certain principle, there is certain guidelines, there is certain etiquettes we need to agree upon when we deal with each other, when we decide to work together. Okay, I understand how to deal with you. If you don't work with me, we work separate from each other. But what if we became one basically body? We are one masjid, we are one organization. We're going to create a coalition. How can we work together? And today I would like also to extend, if the time allowed me, at least I will put some points out there. How about not only the unity between the Muslim community, but also the unity between us as a society? We as members of this society, people of the state of Michigan or the United States of America, how can we create that sense of unity, especially in a time when we see our country ripped apart and been divided between going to the left or to the right, or, that today patriotism replaced with nationalism, which is completely 2 different, concepts. And in my opinion, they don't go along with each other, because we're all for a person to be patriot and love his country and love his land. But we never were a fan of nationalism, which include a lot of lead to racism and lead to discriminations and a division and no global cooperation as we see today. So our country literally in a very interesting and sometimes scary road. And we need to learn as a member of this society, how can we build that unity among our country? How can the Muslim community play a role in making us united again as a society? So this, as you see, it's a big topic, and it's worth your time, it's worth our time, it's worth our effort, our attention, because as we all know, if we are united, we will succeed, we will prevail, we will go farther. Together, we can travel farther. If you have a partner, especially a company, you can travel farther. And I always say, yes, by yourself, and this I said to single people, you can travel faster, but with a companion, you can travel farther. So here what we want something that we can work far, we go farther. I know sometimes it's much easier to do it yourself, but we need to learn how to work together. And that's where this talk was taking place. And I divided my talk into three components. The first one is talking about certain point. I use it as an introduction to the concept of unity. And I think these 5 points that I will cite, for me, are the most important part of my lectures, because they're like the foundations for the whole topic. And I hope that you pay close attention to these 5 principles or 5 points that leads to the concept of unity. Then after that, I will follow it with principles. That's when I'm going to need your help, which is basically what are the principles that should govern our relationship as a community when we work together. Then after that, I will mention several points related to how can we create unity and how can we work together as unified body in our society. So the first 5 principles that I consider them a fundamental principle to understand the concept of unity among each other. Number 1, when we talk about unity, we need to understand we're not talking about something from fada'il al-a'mal, just, an extra virtue, kind of good deeds. No, unity among us is one of the ultimate goals of Sharia. It's one of the major obligations upon us as Muslims. So when we talk about unity, don't think about it, it's like Salat al-Jama'ah, praying Sunnat al-Maghrib, it's just a virtue or something from Fada'il al-A'mal. No, it is one of the fundamental principles in Islam. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold all of you to the rope of Allah together. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, among the last few reminders and speeches that he gave to his companions was what he reminding them or ordering them to hold into. Among the things that he kept saying again and again before his death sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the weeks that led to his death sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, alaykum bil jama'ah, make sure that you hold into al jama'ah, wa iyyakum wal furqa, be aware of division, and hold into unity, hold into the rope that collect you together. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في مسند الإمام في زوائد مسند الإمام أحمد قال الجماعة رحمة والفرقة عذاب. Al-Jama'ah, which is being united, is a mercy, and being divided is adab, which it means suffering. That's why Uthman radiallahu anhu arda used to pray 4 rak'ah al-dhuhr in Mina, and as you know in Hajj you should make it 2 rak'ah when you pray dhuhr. So Ibn Mas'ud prayed 4 rak'ah with him. So the student of Mas'ud, they said, Ya Ibn Mas'ud, you just taught us the sunnah to pray 2, and now you're praying 4? He said, yes, but our Imam, our Amir, Uthman radiallahu anh, it shows that position of praying 4 rak'ah. And he said, I would like not to be the odd person, not to split out, not to separate myself from the Jama'ah. I'll stick with what the Muslim agreed upon at that time, and I will be part of it. I'm not going to create that division. And he said a very famous statement. He said, قال الخلاف شر. Disagreement is evil. We don't want that to happen in our society, taking consideration that already there is a lot of, unrest, political unrest started at that time during Uthman radiallahu anhu's time. Ibn Hajar rahimahullah has a statement that's so powerful and so beautiful. He said, اختلاف الآراء, disagreements and have different opinions is permissible, mubah. وَأَمَّا اخْتِلَافُ الْقُلُوبِ فَهُوَ مُحَرَّمٌ. But any disagreement that our heart turns away from each other, that disagreement is haram. I'm saying this so you never feel that you doing me a favor by cooperation. I should not feel that I'm doing, I'm getting out of my way, it's the kind of extra things I'm doing, just being extra nice to work with you. No, that's your obligations. That's your wajib. There's no minna, there is no favor, there is no you being extra nice. You fulfilling the bare minimum requirement from you as a Muslim is to work with others, is to be unified with the community. And the second point is, unity is the outcome of 3 things. Number 1, that we agree on principles and methodology. We don't need to agree on opinions, but we agree in principles. So we all, as when we work together, we have to agree on principles. For example, hey, if there is a disagreement over something, that's how it's going to be solved. If there is reference to a scholar, this is basically the institute, or this is the individual, or this is the committee that we're going to go follow. You know, have to agree. If we want to be unified, you know what? Our marji'iyah, the thing that identify us first as a community is our religion. We're a Muslim community. We are a very unique community in a sense that the only thing connect us together is the religion. And Islam, for example, you look at the Jewish community. The Jewish community, it's an ethnic community, have one ethnic background. Look at, you will see, for example, a Korean church or this or that. You go to national, identity. We don't have in Islam like that. We're never going to be unified as the Yemeni or the Somali or the Egyptians or the Pakistani or the Bengali. That's not how we are. The Muslim community comes from a very diverse ethnic groups, from all the way from the ocean to the ocean, from every part of the world. So there is no one ethnicity that will represent us. There's no one, a common factor except we all Muslims. We all believe in Allah. So that should be the reference. The reference is the Quran was Sunnah. The reference is the understanding of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum to the religion. It's not everybody make his own understanding and come up with all these things that divide the ummah. Also, we have to agree on, as we agree in the foundations, we have to agree in the goals. So if we work together, one of the problems that everybody has his own agenda. If we agree in the goals, in the clear goals, we will work better together. And number three, in my opinion, as that will lead to unity, that we revival the concept of brotherhood and sisterhood. The more we love one another, the more we know one another, the more we close to one another, the more we will forgive one another, the more we would love to work with each other, the more I will be able to understand you better, understand what you mean and what you want. But if there is a distance, if there is a dry relationship, it's so easy for me to tear you apart. It's so easy for me to turn my back to you. But it's hard to do this to a friend. It's hard to do this to someone that you love, someone that you're connected to. So these three, if they are exhaust, the agreement on the principles, on the goals, reviving the concept of brotherhood and sisterhood and love for each other, we love one another for the sake of Allah, what it will lead to? It will lead to the unity. Unity is a thamara, is a result, is an outcome. You can't have the fruit if you don't have a tree. That tree is made out of these 3 points that I said. Another principle that is so important as well, that we should always remember, unity, it doesn't mean agreeing only in one opinion. No. Unity, it doesn't mean that we don't disagree with each other. We might have diversity. We might disagree with each other, but we're still united. I might not agree with you in this particular point, but I'm part of, of the big goal that we agreed upon. I give you real examples so you can understand. I'm Imam Masjid, so my masjid, alhamdulillah, is very active in my community. So a group of brothers came and they want to put, and this is what I kind of old a little bit, when the economic crisis, I guess, Michigan knows that very well. When the market crashed in the end of Bush time, and Michigan is one of the places that suffered the most of that until you get bailed out. And alhamdulillah, some of you became millionaires, some became millionaire. Anyway, so during this crisis, there were also another crisis happened in Palestine and Gaza. So brothers was telling me, hey, we want to make this big billboard that's called Pray for Gaza. I said, that's nice, good, I have no problem. I haven't advised, I said, I would not agree that this is the right time for it. The country going through a very hard time. And I think the country is going in a very difficult time at that time. And if I'm an American, just African American, walk in the street and I see Pray for Gaza, so why didn't you guys pray for our country, for our economy, for this? If I just an African American, you talking to the average person in the street now. And I said, I would prefer for you guys, especially, maybe you can pray for the Holy Land, for Palestine. Also, there's a reason behind that suggestion that I gave that time. Anyway, the brother were very I can tell on their faces they were not happy, thought I'm going to completely reject it. I'm not going to allow them to fundraise for it. Then I said, but it's up, when do you guys want to do the fundraising? So one of them said, Sheikh, you just disagree with the concept. And you're letting us do fundraising? I said, yeah, it's not my house. It's not my opinion. My opinion is an opinion, it's not a fact. I don't treat my opinion as a fact. It's just an opinion. I disagree with you on that. I give you my opinion, but I still can work with you. You guys can fundraise and do. That's your choice. I might be wrong, inshallah. I'm happy if you guys are right. So what I'm trying to say, we disagreed with each other, but still work together. We're still brother. They still were able to fundraise, and I don't know if they took my advice or not. That's why you see the 4 imams. They disagreed with each other, but they still respected one another, and they accepted one another. And that's something we need to learn. We need to accept one another even if I disagree with you. And accepting you, it doesn't mean accept the thing that I disagree on. Like, I accept you even if you have things that in Aqidah or Fiqh or whatever, I disagree with you. But you're still my brother. You're still my neighbor. You're still my community member. And it doesn't mean that I necessarily agree with the thing that I don't see it as correct or right. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah saw a group of his students coming from a sheikh, his name Abu Kurayb. He said, where are you guys coming from? Which class did you were attending? So they kind of hesitant to tell him where they were. And he said, we came from Abu Kurayb class. وَكَانَ رَجُلًا يَعِيبُ الْإِمَامَ أَحْمَدَ. Abu Kurayb used to say bad things about Imam Ahmad. That's why they were hesitant to tell him. طيب. So Imam Ahmad rahimahullah said, نِعْمَ الرَّجُلُ هُ. What a great scholar, a great man. They said, yeah, Imam, but he speaks very bad about you. He said bad things about you. He said, so what? رَجُلٌ صَالِحِ ابْتُلِيَ بِي. He's a righteous man. I am kind of his fitna. He doesn't like me for whatever reason. But it doesn't take the fact that he's a righteous man. It doesn't take the fact that he's a scholar. It doesn't take away the fact that he's someone that you can benefit from. What a great example to follow. Even he never took it personal. He understands that we're accepting one another no matter how much I disagree with you. And Imam al-Dhahabi, when he wrote the biography of Ibn Hazm al-Andalusi rahimahullah, listen to what he said. He said, Sahib al-Muhalla wa Shaykh al-Zahiriyya, the one who wrote the book al-Muhalla and the Shaykh of al-Zahiriyya. قال ولي ميل لأبي محمد ابن حزم لمحبته للحديث الصحيح ومعرفته به. I love and I have soft spot for him because Ibn Hazm loved hadith and loved authentic narrations, and he cared for the narrations of hadith. He said, even though لا أوافقه في كثير مما يقول في الرجال والعلل وفي المسائل البشعة في الفروع والأصول. Even though I don't agree sometimes with the way he categorized the hadith to authentic or weak, and also I don't agree at all with some of the issue that he spoke about or mentioned regarding to fiqh and aqidah. Some of these issues are terrible, are very bad, and I completely disagree with him on them. وأقطع لا حظ, he said وأقطع, and I'm 100% sure. See, he said وأقطع, and 100% sure بخطئه في غير ما مسألة. I am 100% sure that these opinions that he came up with were absolutely wrong. No doubt in my heart. ولكني لا أكفره ولا أضلله وأرجو له العفو والمسامحة. He said, I don't consider him kafir or misguided, and I wish for him to be forgiven and for his sin to be erased, and for all the Muslims. وأخضع لفرط ذكائه وسعة علومه. And I have to admit with all this that he is an absolutely intelligent person and has wide range of knowledge. What an amazing example of how, with all this disagreement in this issue, but he accepted him. Number 4, the concept of unity required from you and from all of us to be patient. It's going to take time. Hey, we worked together and we broke over 6 months. It takes years to be able to basically bring the community together, to bring two organizations together, to work together. Hey, I volunteer with this organization, I'm upset, I'm frustrated. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُم. If you want to be with those who pray to Allah, be patient. أصبر. And I'm 100% if I open the floor and tell you what kind of frustration can come when you work with some Muslim community, it's a big frustration. But it doesn't mean that you quit. Doesn't mean that you threw the towel. Doesn't mean that you know what, you give up on them. No, it needs requirement. And it required sabr, patience. And it required from us to have long-term vision. Not, I'm looking at what's next. I'm preparing my community for the next generation. So they see us unified. So the next generation will be better in coming together. It means we don't rush for the results. The benefit of effective relationships do not appear overnight. Establishing effective and inclusive partnership takes time. And it is basically important for you to create the right framework for the start and review the structure and the purpose of the partnership on an ongoing basis. On an ongoing basis to measure the success or failure in this relationship and partnership. The final principle is leadership. There is no unity without good leadership. It's a dream if you think that you can unify the Muslims and there is no good leadership to bring them together. And we need a good leadership, wise leadership. That's what it takes, he or she, to bring the community together. A leadership that balances between advantage and disadvantage, harm and benefits. A leadership that knows how to deal with differences. A leadership that how to deal with people. A leadership that how to bring and to heal the wounds and to bring people together. Leaders are very rare, leadership is a very rare quality. The challenge of leadership is to be strong, but not rude. To be kind, but not weak. To be bold, but not bully. To be thoughtful, but not lazy. To be humble, but not timid. To be proud, but not arrogant. To have humor, but without folly. This basically, leadership is an important concept that I can speak about it for the rest of my time. But I'll tell you from my experience, I've seen many masajid, many communities. And I've seen a lot of good managers and very few good leaders. A lot of good managers, they know how to manage the institute good, but not good leaders. Leaders is a different ball game than managing. Leaders, they have, they win followers. Managers, they have employees. Managers, they react to change. Leaders create change. Managers, they have good ideas, but leaders, they implement them. Managers, they basically give commands and orders. Leaders, they persuade, they convince. Manager, they sell. A manager, they tell, but leaders, they sell. They sell you the idea. They win your heart. That's a big difference between the two approaches. And that's why every organization needs both good managers, but also need good leaders. So that's so important for the success of any concept of unity that we're talking about. Leadership, do not fear the followers. As a leader, it'd be disaster if the leader fear his followers. We as leaders are supposed to take our community where they're supposed to be. It's not they take us where they want to be. A lot of leaders, they're just afraid of the crowd, afraid of to upset their followers on Twitter, upset their followers on Facebook or in social media. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go. That's the leadership that we're looking for. A leadership, good leadership means they are willing to develop themselves. They are willing to grow. They are willing to change. They are willing to adapt. They are willing to evolve. They are willing to listen and to change strategy as they go. Leadership, it means A leader who is there for his community, not living somewhere where he's not seen. A leader, it means a one who will interact with people, pray with them, be with them in their halaqah and their events. Any leadership that is so arrogant to be with people, any leadership that, or any leader that he claims that he or she is a leader, but they're not with the people, they don't feel the pulse of the people, that's not a good leadership. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. قال عمر رضي الله عنه, there is no Islam without jama'ah, and there is no jama'ah without leadership, and there is no leadership without obedience and cooperation. So these are the 5 principles that I started with, and keep it in mind. And now, quickly, whatever time I have, I'll go to what are the guidelines, what are the principles that, or tips that we should take in consideration when it comes to working together as a community. So originally I was going to ask you to come up with some of these tips, but because I can't see clearly, so I have already some points, 11 points, and I'm going to raise one and see your comments if somebody has a specific example how this can, work and how important this is to the concept of unity. The first point, I will start with that. Unity, so the first tip I want to give you in regard to working together. We have to understand that unity cannot be established around personalities or person, cannot be around branches of Islam. It has to be any unity that we want to create, it has to be around something general, something big. The Muslim community will be never unified around one madhab. Good luck with that. We're never going to be all Hanafi. We're never going to be all Hanbali. We're never going to be all Maliki. That's not going to unify us. We're never going to agree on one sheikh. We're never going to agree on one scholar. We will never. No one, we cannot unify the Muslim around a figure, historically, from the history or from the modern days. That's not what's going to unify the Muslim. So make sure that you understand that. So even if I don't agree with you about the way you look at this sheikh, somebody loves Sheikh Waleed Basyouni so much, and somebody can't stand my guts. Okay? He doesn't want to come near to me or hear my name. That doesn't mean that you and him don't work together. Look at Imam Ahmad and Abu Qurayb that I just gave you earlier. The example. And so many examples like this. So you cannot make the unity based on a person, based on a madhab, based on one ethnic group. That's not going to unify us. What's going to unify us, the big things, that we all love the Sahaba of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All Muslims. All Muslims love Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All Muslims will be gathered around the Quran, around the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, around al-Islam bima'nah al-wasi', al-Islam as a whole. We're not going to all agree. What can bring us together is not where I put my hand in the salah. No. What will bring us together is that we all agree on the importance of salah. That's a big concept. So make sure that you get your mind out of these little things and you focus on them, thinking that what will bring us together. Focus on the big issues, the big principle, and that will bring the community together. Number 2, and that's now your turn to tell me how this will affect unity. The second tip I have for you, أصلح ما بينك وبين الله يصلح ما بينك وبين الناس. The more you improve your relationship with Allah, the more your relationship with people will be better. Can anybody in the crowd raise your hand, and there is people with microphone. That's an important tip for creating unity among the community. If you want to bring people together, if you want to see the community coming together, encourage piety, taqwa, a better relationship with Allah. Can anybody tell me how that works? Come on, I don't have time. And guys, it's kind of hard to worship like that, but anyway. Anybody raising his hand? I can't see you guys, so. Okay, go ahead. You take. Okay?
be committed to your acts of worship like salah, your siyam, and stuff like that. Because the more you work in the inside, it's gonna help you improve the outside.
Okay. So the point is that the more piety you have, hopefully it will impact your manners and how you deal with people. Very good. Oh, they have another aspect for it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات سيجعل لهم الرحمن ودا. Those who believe in Allah and do good deeds, Ar-Rahman will give them wood. What's wood? Mahabba. It means they will be loved by people. And that's one of the essence of creating any kind of relationship and bring people together. You'll be loved by people. The more taqwa you have, the more love you will receive. As the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in Hadith Jibreel, when Allah loves someone, what's in the end of the Hadith says? فَيُوضَعْ لَهُ الْقَبُولُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give that person acceptance. Be able to connect with people. Your words will travel way more than what you ever thought. And that doesn't make us arrogant when we see so many people accept our talk or happy with our, the work that we do. That makes us be more thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have a great relationship with Allah and see how that will impact your relationship with people. Aisha once wrote a letter to Muawiyah. She said, Ya Muawiyah, ما أذنب العبد ذنبا إلا عاد مادحه من الناس ذم الله. When you commit a sin, the people who used to praise you will criticize you, will turn against you. And that's because of your sin. Sufyan al-Thawri, al-Hasan al-Basri said, إن الرجل ليحرم صحبة الرجل بالذنب يذنبه. You will lose friendship and a friend because of a sin that you committed. And you will lose the friendship of that person. So, because of this piety, it will lead you to be more connected to Allah, making more dua, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you able to bring this unity together. And part of the dua al-mu'mineen, وَجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Number 3. One of the tip that I will give you, I guess I will just go faster. Unless you have a point, you always welcome to comment on it in the end, I guess. The number 3, make sure that you always care about winning people's heart. More than winning an argument. More than winning, their money. More than winning, just a temporary attention. No, make sure that you win people's heart. And that will help a lot to create that unity. So when we work together, don't try to impress people as much as you try to win their hearts. They say, to handle yourself, use your head. But to handle others, use your heart. If you want to handle others and you want to have impact on others, make sure that you basically win their heart. That means you are sincere in the way you treat them. Because people can detect if you are sincere or you're just a fake. Don't have two faces. You talk to them when you are with them in the committee or work together in the board of the masjid or the Turk say, oh, mashallah, and behind their back you say other things. Okay? Part of that is to win people's heart, you genuinely care for them. No matter what their position are. No matter how famous or known they are, rich or poor they are. Also, remember, being nice and generous to them, to win their heart, gifts, and doing good to them, helping them, being there for them. That's in itself help you to win people's heart. In Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, see how he won that man's heart when he said, you see this valley full of sheep, it's all yours. The man immediately turned to be a da'iyah. Not only a person he became a defender of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. ما سئل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عن شيء قط فقال لا. I did not see anything win people's heart like being a giver. You give them from your time. You give them from your smile. You give them from your money. You give them from your fame. That's win people's heart. Somebody told me, Sheikh, I know a sister, she ran a small organization in Manchester. Till today, she loves, Sheikh Waleed and her and her family, her husband and organization. Why? Because one time I just retweeted to their organization. Even though I don't have like a big followers on Twitter. But she's like felt that she's thinking that she's no one or nobody. And I only did this because I know she's doing a good job. She actually worked on helping people who lost their children to teach him, or to help them how to grieve over the loss of their children. Anyway, for it's in giving that we receive. Every time you give, I guarantee you, you will receive something back. Also part of this, another tip that I have for you, say good or remain silent. You want to create, if you work with people, when we work together, we decide to work as a team, make sure to learn to control your tongue. You say what is right or remain silent. Don't say what is bad or evil or hurtful. And if you don't agree with what's been said, just be silent. Unless the nasiha is in the proper time to be said. So that's something good, and you should say it. It means you choose your words. It means that you say the kind words. And I want to say that a lot of time, people are kind, but when they write, they are mean. And there is the opposite. People who are, when they talk, they are very mean, but when they write, they are very kind. So see which kind of person you are. If you're a person who has a sharp tongue, and you have a soft pen, or soft keyboard, use your keyboards. But if you're the opposite, avoid talking to people through, keyboards. Remember, criticism and criticizing people, it's like, the best way I say it, people don't like to be criticized. So be very careful. Because when you criticize people about something, they know it's wrong. It's like an open wound. When you touch it, it hurts. So be gentle when you talk about something that you see wrong on people. Make sure that you purify your tongue from ghiba and namima, and these are diseases that killing the unity between the Muslim. Backbiting, talking bad about people. Remember what Allah said in the Quran. وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنزَغُ بَيْنَهُم. Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen once said, Allah said, tell my servant to say the best. He didn't say, tell my servant to say what is good. The best. Shaykhna said, because even if you say what is good, ash-shaytan yanzaghu baynahum. Allah said, ash-shaytan whisper and can, make you misunderstand what has been said. So even if it's a good talk, it's still a shaytan has a place to play. But that's why we close that door completely by saying the best, especially when time need for you to be clear. Number 5, which is a recipe that is missing, an ingredient that it is missing in our social life today, which is respect. When we work together, we need to learn how to respect one another as human beings. I respect your opinion. I respect your choice. Respect is essential component in any unity that we're trying to build here. Respect appears in the way we talk, in the way we act, in the way we listen to others. Some people, when you talk to them, already you can tell they're not interested in what you're saying. How can you be unified with people like that? That's why respect, it means not to be sarcastic. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, or before that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال ويل لكل همزة لمزة. قال ابن عباس الطعان المعياب. What that means? In our modern days today, I will say, in our language, we say, is the one who been sarcastic all the time. He always make fun of people. He have no respect for others. Respect make you win people's heart. Look at how the Prophet ﷺ went and created the unity in Mecca after all this long history of war. He said, whoever entered the house of Abu Sufyan, he's saved. He gave Abu Sufyan the respect that he deserved. Man, there's little things here and there, but hurts. Many of my community tell me, Sheikh Waleed, I hate to be next to you when you go out of the masjid. I said, why? Do I smell bad or something? He said, no, you all smell good, mashallah. But I said, so I don't want to be around me when I leave them at salah. He said, because every time people come to you, and I'm saying this to all of us, He give you some salam alaikum shaykh, mashallah. And he said, I am as if I'm not even exist. Yani if I'm lucky and I get somebody to give me salam, he will be like this. Yes, salam alaikum, like give me my hand and he's looking to the other side. I feel so disrespected. And to be honest with you, I start looking at this and it's very true. People do that a lot. Respect, it means you respect brothers and you respect sisters. You don't only respect the opinion or the suggestion that come from a brother and not sister. Respect, it means you respect the youth the same way you respect the old. It means you respect the children. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam respected Ibn Abbas and he's not even 9 years old. And Abu Bakr was next to him. And he said, Ya Ibn Abbas, would you allow me to give the milk to your uncle first? Because my Abu Bakr on the left side. See the respect to Ibn Abbas. Ibn Abbas said, no. I'm not going to give him the chance to drink right after you. I want to drink first. And Nabi Sallallahu respected that. He did not reprimanded him. We need to learn how to respect the youth. We can't just want to create unity in the community. We said, youth, 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 youth. Youth, they don't need your basketball as much as they need your respect. They don't need your basketball court as much as they want and they need your respect. That feel that their views matter to you. ليس منا من لم يرحم صغير كبيرنا من لم يجل كبيرا ويرحم صغيرنا ويعرف لعالمنا حقا. To give the proper respect to the scholars. I guarantee you, respect a person and he will do more for you. Also, another tip, which is number 6, forgive and forget. If we want to work together, we need how to learn how to forgive and to forget. And if it's too hard for you to forgive and forget, choose one of them. Just because of the lack of time, I'll move to the next. Self-control, self-discipline is an important tip when it comes to creating unity among each other. There is a philosophical statement, what lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do. Does that make sense to you? So, in another word, your ability to control yourself, it will take you very far when it comes to relationship with people. Make sure that you don't just lose it. Don't say, you know what, I just give it to him. I give it to her. That's not strength. إنما القوي من يملك نفسه عند الغضب يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. The strong person is the one who is able to control their anger.
He left out somewhere.
Anger is just one letter away from danger. When you don't control your anger, you are in a dangerous situation. You're in a situation that you might lose your friends and destroy the unity that you've been trying to build. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. It's beautiful. Some ulama said, al-muhsinin here are the one who كاظم الغيظ والعافي. هذا هو المحسن. It's not a third category. Allah said that the muhsin is the one who control their angers and forgive. Don't be too emotions. Make sure that you use your logic. I always say to people, it's okay to follow your heart, but just don't forget to take your brain with you. Don't leave it behind you. Self-control, it means that you basically make your decision based on a sound logic, not just emotion, not just a reaction. Being logical and controlling yourself will avoid a lot of argumentations. Will help you to avoid arguing with people because you control yourself. You're not going to allow someone to drag you online back and forth, and the end the community split. You will be able to control your reactions, and no doubt that nothing destroys society like what? Like arguing. فَأَغْرَيْنَا بَيْنَهُمُ الْعَدَاوَةَ وَالْبَغْضَاءَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said how we destroyed this community by making them argue with each other. قال النخعي أغرى بينهم الخصومات والجدل. Tip number 8, positive attitude. A lot of time we need that in order for you to create a sense of unity and working together, is to have that positive attitude. You know, positive attitude, it will allow you to see things from, subhanAllah, from a different lens. You see what people sometimes don't see. You can get out of something that people see it as a terrible, as a horrible thing, and with your positive attitude, change it to be something good and positive. I remember when I used to take my son to the hospital for his chemotherapy. I'll never forget that shirt, and I loved it, and I searched for it until I got it and bought it. And that shirt was a mother had a shirt on her. In the back it says, the only disabilities in life is bad attitude. Can't agree more. You know, good attitude allowed you to think of alternatives. Good attitude tell you that, you know what, I can see what's behind just the surface. Millions saw the apple fall, but Newton was the one who asked why. Positive attitude will allow you to ask why, to look beyond just the surface. Positive attitude will make you focus on the future, not in the past. And focus also on the present day, not too much on the future. Positivity, it means will fill your heart with goodness. Positivity, it means you focus on what will work, not what doesn't work. Positivity make you able to work any place in the community. If you are the leader, you're leader in the back. As the Nabi said. Positive attitude makes you, you know what, let's work. Let's just avoid these things that holding us back or down. In my masjid, I have the people that I work with, I have a rule for our community. In my community, you know that very well. It says like this: lead or be led or get out of the way. So that's how the code will go in our masjid. Lead or be led or get out of the way. I don't have time for, you know, somebody to be just negative there. Anyway, there's a lot of like points to be said about this, about negative attitude, how so distracted it is. There is people only look at what is wrong and what is bad, and they become filled with negativity. Those people cannot create unity. Be aware of this. Don't follow those people online. Don't listen to these people when they talk or their lecture. I advise you just poison your heart. Focus on people that they give you positive outlook for the world. And also being realistic. Doesn't mean that we live in some la-la land. No, positive attitude means be realistic. I know that there is so many problems out there, but positive attitude also teach me that there are so many solutions out there. And humility is one of the tips that you should take in consideration. Then the 10th, simplicity. Al-basata ma'an nas. Be simple. Be the one who have this yes face. You know what's yes face in? You know, there's a story, just research it. It's an interesting story about Thomas and Jefferson. Just research it, Google it. Yes face, Thomas and Jefferson. Very, very interesting story. You know, but yes face, and you look at someone, you know that he's going to say yes to you. That the kind of person creates unity. You know, smiling all the time. And yesterday I talked about smile in the masjid, and I said Michigan is one happy state that many people are smiling here, alhamdulillah. But you basically spread that, and anytime you see someone of your brothers and sisters or member of society without a smile, give them one of yours. Smiling, being simple, like the Prophet ﷺ. I love it when the Nabi ﷺ was walking and he saw this young man skinning a sheep. So the Nabi ﷺ said, young man, that's not how you skin it. Then he rolled his sleeves and he went and he started skinning the sheep with him. I just love that simplicity. He passed by someone cooking a food, maraq, lahm, meat with sauce. He said, is it cooked? Kid passing by. He said, yes. He said, can I taste it? He said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. What a simple life, a simple leader, so easygoing. The way we learn how to be like this, the way we create unity among each other, the more we come together. Final point in regard to the tips of how we work with each other and create unity among each other is a prophetic advice. تطاوعا ولا تختلفا. التطاوع, he said this to Abu Musa al-Ash'ari and Mu'adh ibn Jabal. Tatawa, what it means. At-tatawa means that I give up my opinion that I think it's correct to my brother's opinion who I think it's wrong, as long as it's not haram. It's not a haram and halal thing. I think taking this route is much better than this one. This is shorter than that one. No, it is. Okay, you know what? I give my opinion for my brother. That's tatawa. But look at the Prophet's word. Tatawa, it means tatawa, it means you do it one time, I do it one time. It's not all the time I'm the one who give out my opinion. And also you give your opinion as well sometimes. But that's how it works. In Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he sent these two leaders, he said that's how the relationship should be. And that's a very important advice and very important tip when it comes to how we work together as a community. So these are 11 points that or tips that I have for you when it comes to the fiqh of unity. And again, if you see this is a big topic, we need to focus on the fiqh of unity way more than our focus of fiqh of disagreements. Because when we work together, when we come together, we need to learn how to deal with each other. As for the other topic in relation to how to create unity among society at large, that will be another day, inshallah ta'ala. Thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of your day. Assalamu alaikum.